again, we're gonna keep on this theme. I have to move on to right now. Listen, it's not all horrible news this week, I guess, because we might be on a breakthrough of a ceasefire in Gaza. So, from this is from the Associated Press. So, apparently, Hamas has signaled a willingness to accept a peace proposal from the Trump administration, as has Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So, um, Trump says he thinks Hamas is ready for a lasting peace and has told Israel to stop bombing the territory. But he warns that all bets will be off if Hamas doesn't move quickly. Netanyahu, meanwhile, says he hopes to announce the release of all remaining hostages in the coming days. There are still uncertainties remaining around the plan ahead of indirect talks between Israel and Hamas beginning tomorrow in Egypt. Already, Netanyahu says there will not be a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. So, hedging bets there already. We got to keep an eye on this thing, but for now, it looks like there are positive developments. So, here are the essentials to understand of this plan. So, all hostilities will immediately end within 72 hours. Hamas is supposed to release all remaining hostages it holds, living or dead. They still have 48 hostages. Israel believes 20 or so are still alive. Israel, for their part, would free about 250 Palestinians serving life sentences in its prisons and 1,700 people detained from Gaza since the war began, including all women and children. Israel also will hand over the bodies of 15 Palestinians for each body of a hostage handed over. Furthermore, Israeli troops will withdraw from Gaza after Hamas disarms, and an international security force will deploy. The territory would be placed under international governance, with Trump and former British Prime Minister Tony Blair overseeing it. Now, this is a point of contention. It is not clear that Hamas officials are on board with that one. One of those officials telling Al Arabi television that Hamas would refuse foreign administration of the Strip and that entry of foreign forces would be unacceptable. An interim administration of Palestinian technocrats would run day-to-day affairs. Hamas will have no part in administering Gaza, and all of its military infrastructure, including tunnels, will be dismantled. Members who pledge to live peacefully will be granted amnesty, and those who wish to leave Gaza can. Palestinians will not be expelled from Gaza, and large amounts of humanitarian aid would be allowed and would be run by neutral international bodies, including the United Nations and the Red Crescent. So, Charles, this is a positive development, yeah?
Sure. I mean, how do I phrase this? Do you believe it or not? Is the question. I mean, are both sides going to adhere? And then all reality is the one side, Netanyahu, is he actually going to abide by the terminologies in this? My gut check says absolutely freaking not. But again, I've not been, I have Jewish family members, and I will tell you, Netanyahu has been the worst thing to hit Israel, period, bar none, because he's literally like your leader and some of these other, nuts that are out there. And his mindset is total domination, and he will not stop. I don't care what the dear leader says; he's not going to stop at just a stalemate, so to say, or a conventional idea. So, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I am, but I have my doubts. So I'm just going to put it.
Yeah, well, the thing with that coalition in Israel is that Netanyahu, for as bad as he is, and Netanyahu is a corrupt authoritarian, but he's not even the worst member of his own government. And what you might have to worry about isn't him so much as the right flank of his coalition, folks like Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir, who have already criticized the plan's progress, but for their part, they didn't immediately threaten to leave the government over it, which is, I don't know.
But I
Derek,
have to say
progress as things go over there?
to a degree, yes. But if you look at the mirrors, though, the mirrors between that government and our own at this point, the similarities, how I don't even know if disturbing is a strong enough terminology I can say, but things get said, yeah, we're gonna do this, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then immediate 180 on the other side because somebody pulls a string or ticks off the dear leader to make a different decision, or make it say, oh, I want to be a big bad dude in the parking lot. And then Yahoo's going to be the same thing. He's going to listen to those worst instincts, and I just don't see that playing out well in my mind. I mean, again, I hope I'm completely wrong, but
I think Netanyahu is here for the corruption and the staying out of prison. I don't know if he's an ideologue so much as those guys are, but that coalition is very, very fraught as it is. Derek, we've joked about this before here. You're our resident Jew. What are your feelings on these things?
I'm not going to hold my breath on what's going on over there. How I hear it is they want to put out an olive branch so they can dismantle all the militant stuff inside the Gaza Strip. But what does that do to the Palestinians' military chances?
Mm-hmm.
If Israel comes in and dismantles their military, they will have no way to fight back. When in a year or two, Bibi and his crew goes, "You know what? We're going to take it completely over." I mean, I don't want to be that kind of skeptic, but I've seen it over and over again with him, and especially his extreme right-wing allies within his party or his coalition. And I'm not going to hold my breath. I mean, it is a sad day right now for Israel, and I mean, I have no other words for it.
I guess let's if theoretically, hypothetically, this all works out. This is a peace plan drawn up and put forward by the Trump administration. Blythe, if I know it's hard to overlook all of the other horrible things they've did, which we've spent the entirety of our show and we'll probably spend the rest of our show talking about. If they deliver here, credit? Does Trump get his Nobel Peace Prize that he's been lusting after this whole time?
No, I think all of this is just covering their asses and another distraction from the Epstein list. And, it's still not acknowledging that Hamas was born out of resistance, right? And I'm not saying it's okay that anyone dies from any act of violence. I'm not justifying violence. But political violence is sometimes the only way things do get accomplished. I mean, it historically comes to that to save people. And I think Derek's right. It doesn't matter what's agreed upon if the Palestinians are not cared for and given autonomy and ways to defend themselves indefinitely. It's going to. I mean, this has been going on for hundreds of years. This land has had this for forever.
Yeah,
this is
forever.
Generational trauma. This is historical war, and it's not new. It's being weaponized further by other countries like America. So Trump is not a peacemaker, and he never will be.
I don't have a ton of hope, but it's, I guess, the most hopeful development we've seen here in a couple years, and I guess fingers crossed that this finally ends the genocide that's happening over there. Frankly,